All right.
And we are live. Hello, one and all, and welcome to our live review for Monday Night Raw. We're going to take a look and break down the February 26th, 2018 edition of Raw. And with me, I have a special guest. It's been a long time since he's been on the channel, but it's great to have him back on here. Nerd Coalition, it is great to have you back.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Cena, the place to be, chilling with you, Mr. A&D. Rocking it here with my boy Daniel. Guys, are great to talk some Raw.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as you all know, we are less than 41 days till WrestleMania. So, as JR would say, business is going to pick up. And we have a lot to talk about tonight coming out of the Elimination Chamber. And of course, as you know, this live review, the live chat will be open throughout the entire review. So, as we break down Raw, feel free to participate in the live chat as always. So, let's kick things off with Raw. There was one thing, I don't know if you noticed this tonight. Was it just me, or was there an overabundance of recap and video packages? Was I the only one that noticed this? Or
Yeah, it felt like SmackDown from 2013. It was just a lot of showing of course, Ronda Rousey in the Elimination Chamber in the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber. But really, tonight's Raw was mostly just I seen these matches yesterday, and there was no wrinkle in fabric or anything that I was like, is it going to make any difference or not? So it's like same matches, same results. So
I agree. Like. I'm just like, okay, we saw the Ronda video, but how many times did we, like 5 or 6 times? It's too much. Why do we have to show that 10 minutes? Like once, okay, twice, okay, but for somebody that sits down to watch the entire show, it's annoying. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it gets very, very repetitive.
I mean, don't get me wrong; they're great video packages, and that's still one of the best things that WWE does. Probably their most consistent is the video production. It is top notch, one of the best in the world. But we don't need to see it 10 million times. That's all I'm saying. So,
I agree with you.
With that out of the way, let's talk about Raw. We kick things off with Alexa Bliss. She did retain her Raw Women's Championship. Interesting that she came out here with Mickie James. Didn't know they were friends. I mean, when they brought Mickie back, she was, but I thought her and Alexa went separate ways. I have no idea what any of this is about. That was weird. So Alexa, I'm just like, what? I'm like, can we explain this, please? I mean, this whole segment, it was very weird. So Bliss is talking up how, she's this great champion and how she's going to go to WrestleMania and defeat Asuka and blah, blah, blah. And eventually Asuka comes out. Bliss mocks her English. I thought Alexa Bliss was actually really on fire here tonight. She was just ripping the crowd a new one. She is so great on the mic, one of her best strong suits. And then eventually Nia Jax comes down, and eventually we have Bayley and Sasha Banks come in to make the save on Asuka. And of course, you know where this is all going to go. This is going to lead to a 6-woman tag team match. Of course, it's going to lead to a 6-woman tag team match, right?
I swore Road Dogg was booking it, it felt like.
What did you think about the opening segment and the match afterwards, since it ties?
In my personal opinion, I'm very happy Alexa Bliss won at the Elimination Chamber last night. And now Vince is suffering from the whole force feeding thing. Now, honestly, the reason why I think the Mickie James thing is coming up because I think she's going to be forced into a match at WrestleMania, and it's just like her way of getting in there, being Alexa Bliss's friend. It tries to seem like, and then kind of like stab her in the back because that's the only thing I see really coming out of this. I'm not a big fan of the. I don't understand where Mickie James is coming from on the team with Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. The match was okay for what it was, but to me, it felt like just filler because they didn't know really where to go.
Exactly.
In this direction with it. Yeah.
Now, the one interesting thing that I got out of this match, some storytelling, was the fact that Bayley and Sasha Banks again displayed some animosity. Bayley, she didn't tag in Sasha, and they created a rift between them. What happened at Elimination Chamber. So I don't think we've seen Sasha fully turn heel yet. They said there's issues in their friendship. So I think once that happens, we'll see the Sasha Banks that we all know and love from NXT, who were desperately missing. And I think we'll see Bayley and her have a match at WrestleMania. Perhaps maybe you add a stipulation, loser leaves Raw. I'm not sure. But that's what I got out of the match. Because I really thought the match, like you said, it was just there to fill time. I mean, how many times do we have to see a 6-woman tag team match? I can only see it so many times till I'm sick of it.
Exactly.
Just like, can we do something different, please? Please?
I mean, you have the women on the roster. I mean, there are different storylines that you can, kind of make out of what they have. But like as of right now, I think I kind of see where it's going. I do hope Bailey and Sasha do have a match at WrestleMania because I'm hoping it don't just get stuck to the championship matches between the women. It would be nice to see like just a regular. Bailey and Sasha have good matches, especially in NXT. It'd be good to see an actual just a women's match that has nothing to do with the title that's not on the pre-show.
I agree. And speaking of the women, do you think that Asuka challenges Alexa? Because I still think she challenges Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
I would have said that she would challenge Alexa if they didn't make it so painfully obvious that she was going for Charlotte. Because even when Alexa Bliss had the interview after her match, and she said nobody is ready for Alexa. I'm like, okay, we see that y'all planting the seeds to try to fake everybody out, but we know that Asuka and Charlotte's the better match. I still think that Asuka goes and faces Charlotte. Now, I don't know how they're going to build to that. They probably going to build to it after Fastlane when she beats Ruby Riott. But yeah, 100%. At first, I was like 98, but now I'm 100% sure that Asuka's going after Charlotte. That's the better match, and that's the match that makes sense. And SmackDown can use another woman.
Oh, definitely. And then you do what? Nia and Alexa, which I would like to actually, I think you could build an interesting story there if they want to actually go there and be creative with it. And I think that's where Alexa gets her comeuppance and Nia beats the shit out of her. That's how it should be.
I agree with that. I can see this going one out of three ways. The way I would like for it to go is Nia versus Alexa, and then Sasha versus Bailey.
There you go.
But the way WWE is probably going to do it is do a hold on, wait for it.
Oh God,
fatal 5-way.
Yes.
Because we can't get enough of those in a year. And you just put Mickie James in there to have a fatal 5-way because like we're gonna put all the women on the card now for the championship, and they probably gonna have something stupid like elimination because that's what they can do. That's what I see WWE doing.
I mean, it's great if you want to get everybody on the card, but I'm sorry, not everybody can be on the card. I don't want this show going 8 to 9 hours. It needs to be enough is enough. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Yes, it's starting to get too long.
Enough is enough. Not everybody can get on the WrestleMania card. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Oh well, that's life. I hate to be.
Yeah, everybody can't go to the Super Bowl neither. You know what I'm saying? There's only 2 teams that can make it. So somebody's going to be left out, unfortunately. But that's how they did back in the day, where you had your top performers go out there, the matches that's going to make the most money that has the story, and then you got to try again for next year. Sometimes sour grapes has to happen. That's life.
It just to me, it's like they're trying to shoehorn everybody in there, and it's just like I don't like that. Like you said, we'll see what happens. At least Raw, I'm more interested in the women's division compared to SmackDown. I have nothing. Well, speaking of SmackDown, this actually dovetails nicely. Let's talk about John Cena. Cut a huge promo here tonight on this show, and he referenced, I like this. He's actually troubled. He talked about failures. He didn't just come out with a smile on his face like he used to do. Remember, he'd lose the championship and then be happy the next day?
Yeah.
Who does that? I hate when they do that. That is stupid. But this was different. He said he failed at the Royal Rumble. He failed at Elimination Chamber. And he has to figure out how to get to WrestleMania. And he said, he should do something that he should have done a long time ago, and he challenged The Undertaker, place goes nuts, to a match at WrestleMania. However, Cena did a swerve. He said that ain't happening. And he says, you don't make the matches. And he says that match is impossible. And that means tomorrow, Cena will be on SmackDown Live to start his road to WrestleMania. Very, very interesting words from Cena here. I really like the promo. I like the swerve of announcing Taker Cena and then saying, oh, I'm going to be on SmackDown. And I like that because I actually have a reason to watch SmackDown, which I haven't done in almost 2 months.
That's hard to say, isn't it? That's hard to say.
I just can't watch that show and waste my time. I mean, I probably won't even watch the whole show. I'll just DVR it and then go to see what Cena does. Because honestly, that's all I care about. But NC, your thoughts on Cena, the Taker Cena rumors, and going to SmackDown?
Well, Cena gets brownie points for trolling everybody about Undertaker. I love that. I really loved it about him. And first of all, at first I was like, I'm so sick of the John Cena. I'm not going to make it to WrestleMania storyline.
Oh,
I
come
guess
on.
I'll just do the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
kiss my ass. All right, we all know John Cena's going to WrestleMania, but in this storyline, I'm like, okay, you know what? It's different. It's like I'm not going to just say I need to go into the Battle Royal. We know he's not going to be a part of that. But if I go to SmackDown and I see, and that's why I was originally drafted to. I need to go over there and try to make me a WrestleMania moment. Now, the question is, I'm looking at the SmackDown roster and I'm like, okay, we don't want to see Orton again.
Oh God, no.
We seen what happened with Ziggler, and unless he's challenging Rude, which I really ain't into that, or like there's nobody really on that on their roster right now that John Cena can fit with. So the only thing I can think is it's a double troll. He tells everybody about the Undertaker. Vince wants to see how the crowd reacts to it. He tells them it's not happening. He goes over to SmackDown, and then maybe the Undertaker still responds to him because the Undertaker, he's a free agent as well. He's not on Raw or on SmackDown. He has showed that since Survivor Series a couple years ago when they did have a Raw and SmackDown. So he can still come on SmackDown and still accept Cena's challenge. So it could be like a double troll. And that'll be a segment because that's the only thing I can really see Cena doing this year that can make any sense unless Samoa Joe comes back in time.
I have a scenario for Fastlane. I think he needs to have a match on that card, and I'm going to throw it out there because I'm not watching Fastlane at the moment, but this would get me to watch Fastlane somehow, some way. I don't know how you do it. Maybe with Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, maybe he has a deal. And I know it's kind of, shoehorned in there, but you have Cena versus Nakamura with his number one contendership on the line. I don't think Cena would win that because he's obviously going to have a match with Undertaker, but it would create some intrigue for me to get to watch that show because right now I have nothing on that show that I'm not even going to watch the show. But if they do that, I would watch. I need something.
I do understand that. However, it will also make Nakamura like, are you really want to do that?
Yeah,
and put
that's
on
the problem.
Against Cena. So that's what I'm saying. So him coming to SmackDown, it brings intrigue. It helps bring them ratings up. However, if it's like, how long are we going to troll the Undertaker thing? Or are you really going to SmackDown to try to find other people to wrestle? Because I'm sick and tired of the Shane and Daniel show. And all that bickering. So I'm just like, if we're gonna get just more of that, like we got Cena over here, he should be put up against this person or this person. Then I'd rather you just say the Undertaker and just do like Bray Wyatt did a couple years ago and just say I want the Undertaker and wait week after week, wait for him to respond.
Even though deep down, I don't know about you, I really don't want to see Undertaker wrestle again. I
agree with you.
I think it's a bad idea. I really do. I respect Taker, but I think it's a bad idea.
It's a terrible idea. He took the gloves off. He took the jacket off. He took the hat off. It should be done. It should be over with. And I'm like, if it was, unless he wants redemption for how crappy the match was last year, but still, it should be done. It should be over.
I'm worried the guy's going to die. Is that what it's going to take? Is he going to have to die in the ring? I hate to say it, but that's what I don't want to see that happen. Come on.
Exactly. So I mean, it does give a little intrigue of what Cena's going to be doing at WrestleMania. But for all the Cena fans out there who are very ignorant, he's going to be at WrestleMania. Trust me.
No doubt. There's no chance in hell that would happen unless he gets injured, which ain't going to happen.
Ain't going to happen.
Speaking of what didn't happen, nice segue there. We were supposed to have Bray Wyatt versus Heath Slater, but before the bell rings, Wyatt attacks Rhino and Slater, and then he sits in the corner and he says, "This is Matt Hardy's fault. Hardy led them to the slaughter. The Great War is far from over, and Hardy will face Wyatt again. And this time, Wyatt will make sure Hardy's woken eyes stay shut forever." Wyatt is coming for Hardy, so we had a no contest. This has to lead. I have to say this right now. This has to lead to a final deletion match. Otherwise, what the hell is the point of all this,
This would have been totally wasted if we do not get a Hardy compound type match at WrestleMania. And the only way I see it, because since they just finally bought out TNA and they just put Jeff Jarrett in the Hall of Fame, we right now it makes perfect sense to they own the whole Broken Universe. This is a great way to introduce Senor Benjamin, Rebby Sky, King Maxwell, Vanguard One, but you do it, and then they also got the guy that was over there helping Matt Hardy in TNA with those segments.
Jeremy Borash.
Jeremy Borash, there it is. He's there now, so you can actually pre-record. I'm pretty sure I would rather watch a pre-record whole 15-20 minute segment at the Hardy compound than watch them do a hardcore match or a regular singles match at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
Elimination Chamber was so riveting, right? I mean, that was my bathroom break.
Yeah, I'm about to say, got me out of my seat. And then,
my God.
I was saying, you got to know. I'm saying, he's saying all the right things right now. The Great War. Okay, that's fine. There is no more Wyatt family. It's fine. But he needs to challenge him. First of all, I need Matt Hardy to do some promos outside.
Yes.
And do more crazy, outlandish type of promos. I need him to be in a forest. I need him to, talk to a fishbowl again.
Yes.
I need him to be in a library. I need him to do this kind of stuff, and he needs to do this at the Hardy compound. You can bring Jeff Hardy back at WrestleMania at the Hardy compound.
That would be great.
I think if you get people into that, don't do it House of Horror style. Don't have them drive back to into the arena at night, but it's daylight when you get there, your shirt's clean. Don't do that, but keep it all at the compound. Kind of like how it was with the New Day and the Wyatt family at the compound.
I like that. That was a good match. Actually,
exactly. It was 15 minutes. If Vince McMahon can't take 15 minutes out of a 4 or 5 hour WrestleMania, you can cut the Flow Rider shit, and you can just put that in there, and then you can just have a great segment that will get people behind. Because I'll be behind it. I'll finally be behind it because I'm not into anything Bray Wyatt has done yet
in years. It's felt like I don't care about him anymore. You know what? Yeah. I feel like this would be a fitting way to kind of end Bray Wyatt as we know him and maybe give him a repackage, because I feel he needs that. He loses this match and then he comes back as something different, because to me, as Bray Wyatt, I just don't care anymore. I'm sorry. I just don't.
I agree.
He talks and he loses.
So I say, I'm not going to call – I'm pretty sure WWE is going to be calling it the Great War at WrestleMania. So that's what I'm calling for, the Great War at WrestleMania.
Right. That's what it needs to be. So we shall see. Speaking of WrestleMania, we had The Miz come out and he talked about how he is one of the greatest Intercontinental champions and how he was on fire here. He was cutting a promo about how he, doesn't have that much merch, how he isn't on the poster, how he should be main eventing WrestleMania, and he's angry at Kurt Angle for putting him in the ring with two other people, Balor and Rollins, who didn't deserve to be in the Elimination Chamber match. And then Angle eventually says that tonight we're going to determine who your opponent or opponents is going to be at WrestleMania. And we eventually had The Miz versus Seth Rollins. I thought this was a really outstanding match. Monday Night Rollins, Seth Rollins, he is at another level right now. He is the Seth Rollins we all know and love. And this was really good stuff right here between him and Miz. Too much to recap here. I'll just talk about the finish here. Yeah. Of course, it goes down to the ring where he hits this incredible frog splash. I'm surprised he hit the Miz, but this was incredible. It was just like,
wow. That was a nice frog splash. But I wouldn't even double clutch. I would have splashed all across. But he did it, and he made it.
Wow. And Seth gets the win over the Intercontinental Champion. Before we talk about Balor Miz, your thoughts on the Miz's promo and the match with Rollins?
Well, the Miz does what the Miz does best, and that's cut great promos, be on fire, and everything he's saying is true. He doesn't have that much merch, and he should be selling. He makes the championship relevant. The Intercontinental Championship has been disrespected at WrestleMania for like the past 9 years.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's always been stuck in the ladder match and a multi-man match just to have a match on the card or on the pre-show or not defended at all. So this actually trying to mean something is good. And Seth Rollins come out there and answering the challenge. It was a breath of fresh air, because I don't know how you felt, Daniel, but the whole rumor about Braun Strowman wasn't feeling it.
I don't think I was feeling it. To face the Miz. Yeah.
Yes, to him face the Miz at WrestleMania. I'm just like, because I want the Miz to be in a good match. I want it to be a good title defense, not a glorified squash match.
Which is what it would have had to have been. There's just no way around it. That's
Exactly
inevitable. So I agree. The match, like I said, with Rollins was outstanding. Great stuff here. And eventually, Finn Balor comes down to the ring, and we have another match against The Miz. But before the match even begins, the Miz Taraj beat down Balor. It leads to the DQ. Anderson and Gallows hit the ring to make the save. Kurt says, "You guys are all banned from ringside." And then we eventually have The Miz versus Finn Balor. Balor is able to get the win over the Intercontinental Champion, hits Sling Blade, coup de grace for the win. So the Intercontinental Champion is pinned twice in one night. How do you feel about that?
It's kind of a mixed bag of how I feel, because I kind of wanted to, the Miz did get disqualified at first, and then he restarted the match. But for storyline purposes, it makes sense because the title wasn't on the line. And if I'm a chicken shit heel like the Miz is, there's no need for me to really try to win the match other than for pride.
All right.
So I'm actually liking what it's like it's going to set up for, because I'm smelling triple threat.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would like that way better than Strowman and Miz, and I get to see the Demon at WrestleMania.
Sure. I think it would be outstanding triple threat. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think it would be outstanding triple threat, yes.
Last year, didn't they have a Fatal 4? Who was it? Miz, Rollins, Balor. Who else was in that? It was a really good match on Raw. It was the main event. It was like in May. I'd have to go back.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know if Samoa Joe in there. I'm not sure if Samoa Joe was in there.
I can't remember who the other person was, but it was really good stuff. So if they could do that on Raw, on WrestleMania, I think it could be even better.
That's a multi-man match that makes sense. It's not putting 5 guys in a match just because to put 5 guys in the match because they want to match a spot on the card. You have the Miz, who's been having these issues. Finn Balor and Seth Rollins both entered the match, and he has a point. They both didn't really. They both wanted either one should have been there, both shouldn't have been in there, and then the Miz had to start with the both of them. So yeah, and then the Balor Club having this issue with the Miz Taraj, and then it looks like the triple threat. It makes sense to me. And when things make sense in a multi-man kind of style, then I enjoy it more than just thrown together.
I'm looking here. It might have been the triple threat we're talking about: Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus the Miz. I thought it was a fatal 4-way, but maybe. Yeah, May 1st. I don't know if that's the match. If it is, they already had the match, but then it was a really good match. So there you go.
Exactly. So on the WrestleMania stage, especially after Balor has missed WrestleMania.
Yeah, this would be his first. So I think give him a good spot on the show. That's where I wanted to see Finn. Rollins, you put him in there, like I said, because I think his original opponent was going to be Dean, but Dean got hurt. Then Jordan got hurt. So what do you do? Well, if it's not going to be against Kurt Angle, then I feel this is good too. So we'll see. I'm enjoying it though. So good stuff right here. Speaking of, I know you can't wait to talk about this. This was one of my favorite promos of the night, and I felt Roman Reigns. This is what I've been saying for years. If you just let these guys, the whole show should be like this. Just let them speak from the heart. Get rid of these scripted promos. You get shit like we got tonight. Roman Reigns spitting fire and throwing it right back in that part-time champion Brock Lesnar's face. This was awesome. I was like, holy shit. At first, I thought he was forgetting his lines. I don't know if he did or not. Which is why I hate scripted promos. If you didn't have him recite these lines, you could just go out there and look what he did. He called out Brock Lesnar. Well, I thought Brock was supposed to be there, but he wasn't. I don't know if that was real or not. Like, that was weird. And then he's taking pictures with Dana White. He says Brock Reigns doesn't fear Lesnar, and he sure as hell doesn't respect that bitch. And he said he's going to go into the back and take his ass chewing like a man because he respects this place, unlike some people. This was one of Roman's best promos I've ever seen. Imagine if they had him go out there every single week like this. He wouldn't be booed. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you it.
I guarantee, you know what? This was a really good by Roman Reigns.
Wow.
I did even make him more of a badass. I wish he wouldn't have said the line of "I'm gonna go in the back and get my ass chewed out right now." He could have ended it when he called him a bitch.
Sure.
and he could have ended it. And don't get me wrong, it was still a badass promo.
Oh.
I just think it would have been even more intimidating if he just ended it right there, dropped the mic, walks off, because Brock Lesnar was scheduled to be there today. They were supposed to have the face-to-face, and now since he wasn't, and he had other things to do, then yeah, that brings heat to this, because the match. I know a lot of people don't want Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar, but they had a good match at WrestleMania 31.
They did. Excellent match.
They had an excellent match at WrestleMania 31, and I think this one could top it. I don't think we get a stipulation here, but I do think that it is a brutal style matchup, and I think that will be, awesome. And now, if you put some heat behind it, I think it'll get people more invested into it. So yes, Roman Reigns was firing on all cylinders. I wish, like you said before, I wish he would have did this earlier, but I don't put a lot of that on him as much as I do like Vince, because Vince at one point got him cheered and then got him booed again. So it all depends. Like it's how he's booked. You can't book him strong around the WrestleMania season and then you don't give a crap about him throughout the rest of the year. You can't do it like that. It has to be a consistent kind of flow, and they haven't been consistent with Roman Reigns. So, but right now is a breath of fresh air, and I enjoyed it.
I'm just wondering, do you think that Lesnar not showing up was just a move they made, or do you think he actually didn't show up?
I think Lesnar didn't show up, and Vince gave him the okay to go shoot.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion, because that way, if he goes shoot, Paul Heyman comes, and then that because you're feeding off with real emotions, because Vince ain't going to write that, or the writing staff is not going to write that. So if he says, "All right, well, I'm ready for the one-on-one with Lesnar," where's Lesnar at? Well, Lesnar had to go. He's not here. Roman got pissed. He said, "You know what? Take that anger and go out there and shoot."
I love it. We need more of that on this show. Can I not say that enough? Dear God, imagine what the show would be like. It's right in front of them. There it is. There's the promos we need to see, and then they won't do it again. It aggravates me,
Yes, I agree.
Speaking of aggravating, I'll have to let you talk about this because I missed most of this match. There's 2 out of 3 falls for the tag team championships. The Bar versus Titus Worldwide. What did you think about it?
First of all, Dan, I want to thank you for giving me the spotlight on this atrocity.
Absolutely.
So here's my thing. The thing is, I have a problem with Titus Worldwide, and guess what? It's not with Apollo. It's with Titus. And Titus is a decent mouthpiece for Apollo, but the wrestling is done. He's too old, and he wasn't ever that great in the first place. So I don't understand how you have this team beat the Bar on 3 different occasions, but then they get 2 title matches, and they fail at them both. So this match, it started off, and then Sheamus hits the broke hit at the beginning of the match. He gets the first fall within the first 15 seconds. Done. And then, of course, Apollo Crews takes the heat for most of the match, does all he can, but then gets that double white noise or whatever it is that Sheamus and Cesaro do and pick up the win. They cut a promo afterwards saying there are no more teams for us to face going into WrestleMania, which I think this does set up like AOP maybe coming up from NXT, because it has to. Raw has no teams right now. But what bothers me the most is that I am a huge fan of Apollo Crews, or Apollo as we call him now, and I just think they've done nothing with him. And a couple weeks ago when he was in that Fatal 5-Way, I'm not saying the promo was the greatest, but for Apollo, that was a decent promo. He actually cut in the back because he had confidence when he cutting it. The one where he said, "I want to extinguish Seth Rollins' flame," and he had something for everybody in there. I was like, this is decent, and Cruz can't lose. I was like, that was the shirt that they should have sold, but they dropped the Cruz name. I was like, okay, well, see, y'all just shooting this guy in the foot. He has to go away from Titus. If that, or he has to take over Titus Worldwide and kick Titus out, and if it's like you really gotta. They have to do something with him because he's too talented not to do anything with. And then having him wasted in these tag team matches, because now it's at the point now, every time they're in a match that's not for the titles, it's like, okay, they may get a fluke win, but when it's with the titles, they can't win the big one. So what's the point? And don't stick them in there. Exactly. And don't stick them in there for WrestleMania just for the sake of doing it. It's like you've done nothing with them. Stick them in that Battle Royal. Put him on the pre-show. Call it a day.
It's just like, oh my god. I like Apollo Crews, and I'm still gonna call him that. I know why they changed his name, but whatever. It is what it is. Anyways, he's talented. He just needs a character. That's what he's missing. Like I say, he can go in the ring. I feel like I keep saying it, like I'm repeating myself over and over again. But once he gets that character, the right character, I feel like the sky's the limit for him. Hopefully he can get things figured out soon, because I just feel like I agree with you. He's been wasted on the main roster. He's really done nothing. Nothing. I can't think of one thing he's of note. Yeah, nothing.
He has done nothing noteworthy.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Well, I think we've said all that we need to say about that. Now, we had Elias versus Braun Strowman. Now, I'm always, I love Elias. I love Braun Strowman. He's one of my favorites. What'd you think about this? I just felt like this was kind of random. Like, why?
This was filler to me because I was like, I don't understand. I understand he broke the base over Elias 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Then you get him back in the chamber.
Yeah.
The person you should be having a problem with right now is Roman Reigns.
Exactly.
Because he eliminated you last night after you eliminated 5 men by yourself. And everybody was trying to get you down and they couldn't. And this guy comes in, takes you out with a spirit, and then you beat him up after the match. That's who your focus is. Not Elias is eliminated second.
Yeah,
you got
I don't get that.
So I don't get it. And then of course they do the whole Elias gets disqualified, and I'm like, don't lead to something.
Sure.
Braun, no disrespect to Elias at all. Braun is better than this.
I agree.
He needs you can't book somebody so strong all year and have nothing for him to do.
Come on.
At WrestleMania.
I know what he could do at WrestleMania. I would have a triple threat for the Universal Championship. Strowman, that was on my card predictions for WrestleMania. Strowman, Reigns, and Lesnar. There you go. It's a win-win. Roman's in there. Strowman's in there where I feel he should be, and Lesnar. There you go.
I agree. Now, but if I had to choose between the triple threat I want to see, I'd rather see Miz, Balor, and Rollins opposed to that because Strowman and Lesnar, that match of No Mercy was terrible. I didn't like it.
It was bad.
It was bad. I think that people have been soured on that. Like, okay, you didn't have a good showing in that matchup, and then you stiffed Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, and he ain't like that. So it's like you kind of shooting yourself in the foot. However, there is I don't know what he can do, but it's just something different other than just trying to put him in a rivalry with Elias, because it's hard to put him in a rivalry with people like Elias who can get squashed.
Right. I that doesn't appeal to me. I have no interest in that at all.
It's like when Cody Rhodes went against the Big Show back in 2012. Like, you knew what the outcome of that match was going to be.
Yep. I remember that plain as day.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't needed. It was just filler to make sure Ronda Rousey was in the building or something. So that's probably what it was.
All right. That's great. Way to capitalize on the guy that got 5 eliminations in the Elimination Chamber. Good job.
Exactly.
So let's end this review. We're talking about Ronda Rousey, her and Stephanie, Triple H, all in the ring. I liked her fire. I liked her intensity. I thought that was very good. I wanted to see her rip Stephanie's arm out of her socket. And she gets Stephanie and Triple H to apologize. That's all she wanted. And as Stephanie and Triple H leave, like I said earlier in this review, Triple H hits Kurt with a very weak punch. That was pretty bad. And that's it. That's how we go off the air.
Okay. Well, I'm going to air my grievances because Kurt Angle's my favorite wrestler. Kurt Angle's my favorite wrestler. And I'm like, what are y'all doing to my boy? And this whole segment, first of all, Ronda was better on the mic tonight than she was last night. Because, she didn't say much. She was very, very intense. She had her hair up in a bun. I'm like, yes, okay. She put your hair up and square up. She was ready. I like the whole Stephanie McMahon being scared and telling her that she apologized. The part I didn't hate was, what was the point of Kurt Angle saying, I need this? You're basically saying, hey, I need this job. Let me lie and say that everything I said yesterday was a lie. And I was going through Lamont. They're making no sense. It's probably why you said WrestleMania 21, right?
Oh,
So
that
he
was
was
great.
Yeah, he's going through pneumonia, and after he says this, and Ronda's like, "Well, you ain't apologize about the slap," but Trish hits him anyway. So what was the point?
I know.
And I was like,
"What?"
And I was like, "Okay, this is my problem. I really didn't want." Okay, if you asked me 3 months ago, yes, but I'm like, I don't think I need Kurt Angle on this card.
No.
And like I say, he's my favorite wrestler. I could be slightly biased, but right now, I don't need Kurt Angle on this card. And this tag team match, and that's what it obviously was going to be. I was like, I guess they can't get The Rock.
I wish.
And I was, oh my God, I wish I could get The Rock.
Damn it.
But it would have been so much better they can get The Rock. And Strowman, I guess, is out. I don't know why, but I mean, I would have put Strowman in this.
I agree.
In this one, but Kurt Angle, I'm just like, I need better storytelling. If you were going to punch Kurt Angle regardless for him lying and like him being in your back pocket, what was the point of him looking so stupid in the first place?
Maybe that's his new gimmick.
I'm about to say he's being Mick Foley right now.
He is Mick Foley 2.0.
Oh,
he's gonna grow a beard out next.
Look, I mean, it was. I can't say it served its purpose. It's like I need more of this to just announce the match already. Me personally, I'd rather them just say, we challenge you to a match at WrestleMania, and you had to find your partner.
You keep it a secret, and then maybe The Rock can be there. I hope it's The Rock. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, he got like 14 movies coming out in 1 year, but yeah,
he could do it.
He could do it. So I mean, hey, why not? He don't get himself injured.
So yeah, that was Raw. Looking back on it, I know what grade I'm going to give this show. I'm going to give it a C. A C. Could be much better. Yeah. Could be much worse. Hopefully next week is better. I don't know. The more I look at it based on my expectations coming in, I just didn't feel it delivered to where I would have liked it. That's me. What grade would you give this show?
Honestly, I would give the show a C minus. I would give the show a C minus because the ending to me fell a little flat. There was too much filler and repeat for me to give it any type of solid score. And also, we're at the road to WrestleMania now.
Let's go.
6 weeks. 6 weeks. It says like, hey, that seems like a short amount of time. Believe it or not, that's going to blow by.
Oh,
that's 6 weeks. It's going to blow by. Next thing you're going to look up, it's going to be like we're at the go home show. So technically, you really got about only like 5 weeks, and right now you really need to start planting the seeds for what you need to do. Usually, this Raw has to set up what the month is going to be like, and I think that on certain things they executed, but certain things they didn't, and I think they did more than didn't execute than they did execute. So I had to give it a C minus.
All right. I'm pretty much in agreement with you there. Hopefully next week is better. So we'll see. And as we close things out here, of course, before we go off the air, NC, you can get a plug in for your channel.
Oh, yes, guys. Make sure you guys check out Nerd Coalition, where right now I'm trying to finish out Universe Mode. Me and Primetime are going head-to-head with WWE versus TNA. We know in real life who's going to win that battle. And also, make sure you guys support my man Daniel Guys over here who keeps putting up these awesome wrestling reviews. And I'm gonna put a little side plug in here for all y'all that ain't go out there and see Black Panther yet. Go out there and see it. My reviews on the channel as well, along with some information. This nigga is killing it at the box office. So make sure you guys go see that. And I will hopefully be able to my Raw review tomorrow morning of that. I don't know about the SmackDown thing just yet, but yeah. So, but I appreciate that. Make sure y'all subscribe. Right, Nerd Coalition,
and that link will be down below in the video description. So be sure to check out his channel. And guys, thank you all for watching this live Raw review. Be sure to check out my channel here on YouTube.com/DanielGuys412 for all my latest thoughts. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at DanielGuys412. And with that, we are out, guys. Thank you for watching and have a good night.